Guys, Zennosh here, and today in this video I am going to provide you guys the guide on Krau. I think I've already made a kind of quick guide on him a long time ago, so this is gonna be a revised type of guide if you have not checked that guide out. But anyways, I think this guide is gonna be better because I am actually gonna involve some of the real explanation stuff. Okay, so let's start with it, guys. First of all, guys, he's a really amazing unit who belongs to the current meta that is of Ice element. He's a Knight class and he is of Pisces Zodiac. Alright, if we need to talk about the pros of the Krau, guys, he becomes a really amazing beast when the health goes over 15k or let's say 20k. So if you manage to give him like over 20k plus health, that's 20,000 health, he is gonna be a berserker stuff, guys. I mean, like, he can actually deal a massive amount of damage and he can tank a lot of damage, and more the damage he suffers, the more stronger he gets, or let's say more, you know, like, fierce he gets. Okay, so we are gonna discuss about that later. Third skill penetrates defense and deals damage based on the health he lost, guys. That's the thing that what actually makes him so fearful, guys. Do not touch him. Okay, especially if you are trying to fight against him. He has a very good tankiness with barrier and can provoke enemy as well. Okay, to find a provoke in a knight is pretty much a little bit rare thing, which should have been actually pretty much automatic, or let's say inbuilt stuff. But thing is that in this game it's a pretty much a rare treat indeed, and I would really love to see a provoke in a knight class hero, and then like he has it, so that actually wins my vote for him, right? And the next thing is, guys, he provides an AoE team defense buff, which is so good, okay, right away. And then next thing is that like he reduces enemy combat readiness, alright, which is also pretty good. I think it's through the second skill, okay, which is pretty amazing, which we are gonna discuss a little bit later. Very strong in arena as a tank, as he is a very good unit that is deemed really worthy for the arena, guys. If you see him in the arena, oh my god, most of the time you might actually think that like, he is actually gonna kill one of my units right off the bat. Okay, so those are the pros that you can actually see with the Krau. That's why he's a really amazing unit indeed. Now let's start with the previous stats. What sort of stats can we actually look into the Krau? Okay, so when you are looking into the Krau stats, first of all, guys, you can already see that, you know, the speed is sort of like very basic, okay, and the attack very average. Attack and speed are very average, guys, maybe a little bit even below average, okay. But when it comes to health and defense, oh my, that's a lot of health and defense, okay. So pretty great indeed, guys, over the right over there. So pretty much loving it. And now let's move into the preview skills. Okay, so let's see what sort of things can he actually do. Let's start with the first skill. Okay, this is how it actually looks like. And now when we are actually gonna go into its description, guys, it has like about 75% chance to provoke an enemy. Okay, so when the enemy is provoked like this, okay, what's gonna happen is that like that enemy will only attack this unit, okay, meaning like he cannot use his second or third skill, and he's only gonna attack with the first skill. So that's gonna be very advantageous when you are actually trying to fight in PvP contents, and you are really trying to make sure that the opponent are not gonna unleash their, you know, like main skills or ultimate skills or whatever that skill that you really don't want them to use, and just to attack to you in particular by just the basic skill. Okay, so provoke right away, it says target attacks the enemy who provoked them with a basic skill at the start of the turn. Okay, the thing is that like he will only provoke one single target for just one turn. That's all there is to it, and the damage dealt increases proportional to the cost of max health. Okay, so you might ask like, by what ratio or by what percentage does the max health actually come into the play? Well, about 8.5%. okay, so per 8.5% of the max health, he's actually gonna deal a solid damage output. Okay, so there you go, guys. I mean, like, more HP he has, the more damage he's actually gonna deal. Well, the basic math is like attack times 0.7 plus HP times 0.085, that is 8% or 8.5%, right? And the whole bracket times 1.871. This is a little bit of mathematical shit. Well, that was pretty mathematical, wasn't it? So guys, that's what I say earlier, that if he has a HP pool of about like 15,000 to 20,000, he starts to become a monster, guys. He can actually deal an insane amount of damage with his HP boost. Even though he has like average attack stat, he's actually going to scale up his damage with his HP boost. Okay, so 8.5% of the his HP used in the first skill. Now let's move on with the second skill. Now, guess what, guys? His second skill even has a very beautiful animation indeed, which I really love. And guess what, guys? Let's look into its stuff. It's known as the charge. What's it actually gonna do is like it has a total of like 50% chance. I mean like 50% chance to like what do you say this? He will decrease the combat readiness of a opponent by 50%. Okay, that is really great, guys. And guess what, guys? He will increase the defense of all allies for 2 turns. Okay, so 50% combat reduction of the opponents, which seems to be like 100% chance. Okay, and like increasing defense for the entire team is actually a really good utility indeed, which you can actually follow up with his third skill, which we are gonna discuss just after this, guys. It's gonna be so good. And damage dealt increases proportional to the cost of max health. Okay, so that is amazing as well, because you know why? In his second skill, about like 13% of his max HP will be used in the damage output. Okay, so that's actually a lot. So obviously he is actually going to scale up the damage with his HP proportion. Okay, so more HP he has, the more damage he's actually going to deal. So that's pretty amazing, guys. Pretty amazing utility indeed. And now let's move on to our bread and butter, guys, the ultimate skill.
All troops advance. Now isn't the time to hesitate.
Wow, wasn't that amazing, guys? Amazing, guys. That was really heroic type of like, you know, ultimate skill right out there. What it actually does is that like it penetrates the defense. Okay, so that is the best thing about this skill. And with this skill you can actually nearly one-shot any unit out there, especially if his HP is really high and then like he has lost a lot of HP of himself, then he will actually do that. Okay, so meaning like lower his health, the more damage he's actually gonna deal, but that kind of thing will only trigger if his health is below 50%. Okay, according to the data mining. And how much damage actually he's gonna deal then. Okay, so it will be about like 0.53571 flat per 1 HP missing, it says. Okay, so meaning like if let's say like roughly, okay, a rough estimation is that like if you have like 15,000 HP missing, then you will be dealing about like 7,500 additional damage. Okay, so that's how big it is. Okay, so that's pretty amazing, isn't it? So that's that's the thing, guys. I mean, like every HP you are missing, about the half of that HP is gonna be converted into the damage output. So that's pretty good, guys. The problem with this one is that like this cannot trigger a critical hit, but thing is that like it can actually grant a barrier to the caster, that is like to himself, for 2 turns. So that means like with second skill and third skill he will not only get a barrier but also get a defense boost as well. So that will really aid him to become a really amazing knight indeed. And combined with the provoke, he can actually be a very efficient tank indeed for a entire team. So that's pretty amazing, guys. Really great indeed. Okay, so its multiplier is about like attack times 0.3 times 1.871, which might not actually look really great, but he actually scales this damage output according to his like HP missing. So more HP he's gonna miss, the more damage he's actually gonna deal. So it is always like a wise idea, if you are actually gonna fight against him, guys, try to one-shot him or try to take him down before his turn starts up. Okay, so that is actually the thing right out there. So those are the things that you really need to keep in mind, guys. Well, for the second skill and the third skill, the cooldown will be reduced by 1 turn if you skill enhance them up to the max. Okay, and guess what, guys? Wait for the third skill, guys, the ultimate skill. There is a soul burn effect. With the soul burn effect, grants an extra turn. That is good. So if you have a maze and you equip your team's maze a Tegel's ancient book, what's gonna happen is that like you will be some sort of like you know, like one-shotting a unit, and also at the same time you will get like extra turn. In turn you can use your like second skill that will increase the damage, that will increase the defense of all allies for 2 turns. Pretty amazing. And you are gonna actually decrease the combat readiness of a particular unit, preferably a DPS opponent, by 50%. Okay, so that is amazing. That is really blast, guys. Really good indeed. So that is the synchronization that you can actually gain with him, especially useful in PvP battles. Okay, so those are the things, guys. And you might ask like, okay, so all things said and done, what like in what section of the game is he really useful for? So for arena, he's like a god, guys. He's so amazing for arena. If you are really looking out for a very amazing tank or knight unit. Okay, for arena he's actually a very perfect pick, guys. In boss hunt, in raid, he's gonna really help you a lot. In guild wars he's gonna be a demigod, guys. He's so amazing out there as well. Okay, so as a tip, okay, as a tip for you guys, if you actually see a opponent with Krau in it, don't try to fight against him, okay, unless you can take him out in one shot or before his turn comes up, because like if he's hurt, then he's gonna hurt you more, okay. So that's the thing. And if you have Krau in your team, then rejoice, guys, rejoice. Okay, in the world as well, he's gonna be a really great unit indeed, because of all those provoke and that damage output, even though he's a knight class unit. Okay, so those are the thing, guys. I'm like, he is really amazing for those kind of thing, guys. And that's it and done, guys. Let's now check into what sort of equipment can we really give to this wonderful unit. Okay, so in terms of unit, guys, I would actually go with the speed plus HP gears, okay, or equipments, because like speed set will actually help your Krau to be really efficient in PvP battles, because in PvP battles, guys, I mean like speed set is like nearly everything. Okay, speed set really does matter a lot. And then like you also need to have a HP set with the speed set, because obviously he deals more damage if he has more HP. Or you can go with all HP set, guys. Okay, all HP set, just make sure that you have a very good amount of speed on your substats, as well as your boots main stats should be speed as well. Okay, so that he can actually be a really viable unit in the arena as well as in many other sectors. Whereas for the ring and the necklace, guys, just go with the HP percentage boost and you won't go wrong, guys. Okay, HP percentage boost, please try to have some effectiveness in his like substats. That's actually gonna really help you a lot. Okay, so if we are really gonna talk about substats, what are the things that we really need to focus on? Obviously, first comes first, speed, right? Speed is very important, guys. HP percentage boost or health percentage boost, defense percentage boost, effectiveness percentage boost, because he has that provoke, guys. He has that provoke in his like first skill, so that's pretty amazing, isn't it? And you might really want to incur that provoke really good. And if you don't have effectiveness, just go with the effect resistance. Okay, so that's gonna really help him as a knight. So there is really a big peak between effectiveness or effect resistance, but speed, defense boost, and the HP percentage boost is actually really needed for him as well. So those are the things, guys. Okay, so again, for the equipments, go with either the full health set, okay, or go with speed plus health set. That's actually gonna really help you. And now let's move on to what sort of artifact can we actually give to this wonderful unit. Okay, so let's get into the artifact, and we will be able to see the knight over here, and the holy sacrifice is gonna be so amazing for it. That is actually the one that you are actually gonna have a lot of easier time in bashing out a lot of damage. You know why? Because this will actually give him a revive, meaning like he's gonna revive after the death, 100% chance to be revived with 25% health after dying. So after you have revived, you only have 25% of the max HP, right? And at this point, if you use your skill tree, just think about what sort of damage you are actually gonna deal. That is gonna be insane, guys. That's gonna be insane, isn't it? So holy sacrifice is pretty good for him, because like lower the HP he has, the more damage he's actually gonna deal. So that can actually get to his advantage. The another one is this one, guys. Elbrus Elbrus ritual sword. Okay, what it has, like, has 20% chance to counter attack when an ally except for the caster is attacked. So except for him, if any other ally is attacked, okay, in the team, he has a 20% chance to counter attack. And obviously in his counter attack, there is a really good provoke skill right out there. So if you can actually inflict the provoke on everyone, that can actually be really great. And like while discussing this one, guys, if you really are actually like focusing on this artifact, the counter attack gear set is, or equipment set, can actually be really good for him as well. Okay, the counter hit set, guys, that can actually really help him as well. I mean, like this will actually, like, sort of like, how to say this, stack with that one and make your counter more efficient, meaning like you will be able to provoke a lot more enemies. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's actually pretty handy indeed. Okay, and now next thing is our Noble Oath as well. So Noble Oath, as health decreases, defense and effect resistance increases up to 100%. So this is pretty good, guys. I mean like if his health decreasing, obviously his potential for dealing massive damage with his third skill also increases, but also at the same time you also may need to make sure that he will actually have a lot of survivability when the HP actually goes down. So in that case, defense and effect resistance increase will actually really help you to make it really amazing, guys. So Noble Oath is pretty good as well for him. Okay, that said and done, the last one which I would really love to recommend to you guys as a 4-star artifact, because like 5-star artifact can actually be really hard to attain. So in this case, Aureus can actually be really helpful for him as well, because it says increase the defense of all allies by 10%. That is pretty good. I mean like you will be a really good knight, not only for yourself but for the entire team, and takes 20% of the damage suffered by them. So meaning like it will be more easier for him to attain a lower HP stat. Okay, so obviously when he has lower HP stat, he's actually gonna deal more damage with his skill 3. So keep that in mind, guys. So considering that thing, Aureus can actually really work for him. Okay, so that's the thing, guys. One more than whatever that is. Okay, so these are the sort of like artifact that I would really love to recommend to you guys, which is gonna be so amazing for you. Please keep that in mind, and I think this is pretty much for today, guys. Oh, by the way, guys, and if the summon banner actually pops out for Krau, should you pick him up or not? Okay, just like this. Okay, so if the Krau banner actually like makes itself available to you guys, please do pull him up. Okay, he is actually worthy to be pulled up right away, and he's one of the really top tier unit in the entire game, especially for PvP contents, and he is of ice element, and that really makes him really good. And being able to like one hit most of the units out there, it also makes him a really deadly knight indeed. Okay, so he is really a pullable character indeed, and best of luck to you guys in pulling this amazing unit, guys. Krau is actually really amazing threat for the opponents and really a best friend in your team, guys. So this is it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to keep on enjoying the contents of my channel. See you guys in the next video.